in the journey of faith that the reason you will know God is instruction, is how well you can get instruction. The reason you will stand for Jesus is resting on instruction, and the reason you will continue in the faith is still resting on instruction. This thing I'm saying now, I've seen it. Are you there? If you will follow God, there's an instruction you must lay hold on. You must ensure that instruction is coming in your direction constantly. If you will stand for God, you must ensure instruction is coming in your direction. You must ensure you are not far from instructions. And if you will continue in the faith, you must also ensure that what? Instruction. Let me give you an example. Now, suddenly now, God can decide to start doing something unique with you. Are you there? Suddenly you can discover that, okay, Sister Gloria has become a prophetess. Zion is now preaching deep things. People are saying, when Zion is teaching, people say, yes, ma'am. At a point, she can be tempted to say that, now because of all these things that is happening to me, that I've been doing, by the grace of God, I've achieved. And she will now decide to stop taking instruction. You see, some of the features, some of the juice that you get from Jesus is as a result of instructions that you are receiving. That time when you preach and people are blessed is juice that you are getting from. See, instructions will press fruit to release juice. It's instruction that does that thing. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if you are going to be a blessing, you must lay hold on what? Instruction. What I'm saying is this. Soon, God may begin to do some things with you. And suddenly the weak, feeble, inactive, and any other grammar to use, sister that we used to know will suddenly become strong, powerful, and a highly spiritual person. If you notice that transformation, it is resting on what? Now, the summary of what I'm trying to say is this. There's no point we get to in life where we don't need instructions. I've seen what I'm saying. You know why? Okay, let me give you an example. This story is not a good story, but I will say it. Was it last year or last 2 years? I used to speak to a sister. She had a bad past, and she had a very bad past. Past that involves abortions, those kind of things. So by the grace of God, I met with her. Jesus came to her. She traveled to Canada. Jesus went to her. She called me. She was crying. I saw Jesus. I'm ready, sir. I'm ready. I said, okay. I led her to Christ. She began to ask for messages given her. She was growing, studying the Bible. The normal instructions I will give you now, I give her. I don't have many things to tell you. The instruction is the same. Study the Bible, listen to the audios, pray, and I can say fast, depending on how the case is. There's no any other thing. This thing is, we are not permitted to be creative. Are you getting it? I can't say, Sister Tolu's case is different. You will need to get a watermelon leaf. There's nothing like that. Are you getting what I'm saying? Last week's meeting. Here, the Lord pointed my attention to one of the new sister that joined us, that this sister needs to surrender to Jesus. I met her after the fellowship, and she surrendered to Jesus. I was so happy. What instruction did I give her? The same thing. The same what? The same thing. There's no hope. Your case is different. You bring your clothes. They will stay with me for 1 month. Then you take it after 1 month. You will see you will grow. There's nothing like that. So this sister began to follow, taking instructions. Sometimes she'll call me, sir, we need the audios. I'll send it to her. Then we don't even have YouTube channel. She was growing. Suddenly she entered. She entered into the prophetic. And you know now she's in the midst of these white people. Meanwhile, I knew where Jesus took her from. She will send me pictures then, before Jesus came to her. She will wear miniskirt, and this miniskirt will still be crazy jean. Crazy miniskirt. She will put on a cloth and you'll be seeing her breast. That was the kind of dressing she does. There's a time she called me and said, sir, you told me to go to church. I went to church today. It's just, everything is all jackals. Church is a scam. People were just looking at me as if they have never seen me before. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, okay. If that's the case, the picture the clothes the dressing snap it and send it. He said, okay. She snapped it. I said, okay. These people are looking at you. I said, it's a normal thing. What she wore to church was a crazy cloth. That was the person I'm talking about now. A person that is a lady that cannot dress without exposing her nakedness. She met with Jesus. Suddenly she entered into the prophetic. So the Oyimbos will now be coming to her, prophesy. She was so strong in that prophetic that from Canada she called me and she picked that I'm a teacher. She was speaking things. I saw students around you. I saw this. And the Lord told me. I said, it's true. So me, I now started calling her prophetess. You're not a very funny person. Suddenly there was a break. For some time. Later she called me. She connected it. That was when I knew that something has happened. The one that is supposed to be in mentorship group were listening to messages. That's it. Well, currently now I have a group. I have about 800 members. I would have loved to add you to the group, but Nigeria issues. And I began to shake because I knew where the devil is taking her to. See, if the devil kept you in fornication, and by grace, instruction takes you out of it, follow God. If you go back, you'll be more worse than the former. I spoke with her. At a point, she was putting on one clothes. I said, these things, change it. She said, in Nigeria, it's because I'm in Nigeria, that's why. If you come to Canada, all these things you are complaining about is nothing. To cut the long story short, addressing now is back to the initial level. Meanwhile, maybe the prophetic is still there, but she has gone back to the initial level. Her hair now, we touch the what do they call it? Is it the leg at the back? Yes. You know those hair that you do and it will touch your leg? That's the hair. It was on our case that I now conclude that, okay, if you continue to follow God, is what? It's instruction. The reason you are following God is instruction. Don't let grace deceive you. Grace can come and go. Hold on to what? Instructions. Even when people are bowing to you, they are falling, they are calling you papa, mama, donkey, monkey. Hold on to what? Instructions. There's this temptation to break out when we start stepping into certain level of spiritual, manifestation. Hold on to what? Instruction is God's way of bringing growth to his children. So on the strength of instruction, you will start growing. Are you there? By instruction, we start becoming productive. By instructions, we become a blessing. By instructions, you start manifesting. And also, you see, instruction will determine your beginning and what? and your end. That's the power of instruction. So never get to that point in your life. This year I'm taking my time to tell you this is. For some of you, God may help you. This thing I'm saying may be ringing in your mind even in 10 years to come. So it's